students, what do you see in the diagram? It's a dancing skeleton. Most of the people find skeletons very scary. I'm sure this video is going to be very helpful in learning all the bones of the human skeleton and the structure of the human skeleton. So let's get started. Students, there are overall 206 bones in the human skeleton, and it is divided into two parts, axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton consists of 80 bones, and it has four parts: skull, vertebrae, ribs, and sternum. Skull is a composite structure and is made up of cranium and facial bones. Cranium consists of 8 bones, out of which 4 are unpaired and 2 are paired. These bones protect the brain. The two paired bones are parietal bone and temporal bone. Repeat after me: parietal bone and temporal bone. Let's see diagrammatically. This is the parietal bone and this is the temporal bone. Its pair is on the other side, which cannot be shown on the diagram, but you can imagine. So this is the parietal bone and this is the temporal bone. And there are 4 unpaired bones, which are frontal bone, occipital bone, sphenoid bone, and ethmoid bone. You can remember these by this word fossa. F for frontal, O for occipital, S for sphenoid, and E for ethmoid. Diagrammatically, this is the frontal bone, this is the occipital bone, this is the sphenoid bone, and this is the ethmoid bone. So these are the cranium unpaired bones. There are 14 facial bones, and these bones support the face, out of which 6 are paired and 2 are unpaired. The paired facial bones are maxilla, zygomatic, nasal, lacrimal, palatine, and inferior concha. These words are a bit difficult, so I made it easy for you by making a sentence. Max is not leaving pi. Max for maxilla, S for zygomatic, not for nasal, leaving for lacrimal, and pi, P for palatine, and I for inferior concha. Diagrammatically, you can see that this is maxilla, max, the two yellow bones you can see. This is maxilla, and is for zygomatic, the green bones, zygomatic bones, not for nasal, the two pink bones, leaving for lacrimal, the tear gland bones. These are the lacrimal bones. Pi, palatine, these the red bones are the palatine bones, and I for inferior concha, the light green bones. So these are the facial paired bones. Now there are 2 unpaired facial bones, and their names are mandible and vomer. And students, you must remember that mandible is the only bone in the skull which is movable, the jaw bone, mandible. Diagrammatically, this is mandible. The purple part, this is mandible, and this is the jaw bone, and this is the only skull bone which is movable. And this bone, the blue bone, it is vomer. This bone is vomer. Now the vertebral column, the backbone, it is also called as spine. It extends from skull to pelvic region, that is the hip region, and it gives protection to the spinal cord. It has 4 curvatures which provide more strength than straight column, that is 4 bendings. Students, vertebral column consists of 33 vertebrae. Their types are cervical vertebrae, which are 7 in number, thoracic vertebrae, which are 12 in number, lumbar vertebrae, which are 5 in number, and pelvic vertebrae, which are 9 in number. So overall 33 vertebrae. The vertebrae that lies in the neck region is the cervical vertebrae, as you can see in the diagram. The first 7 vertebrae are the cervical vertebrae, and the first 2 of them are named as atlas and axis, respectively. Repeat after me: atlas and axis. The vertebrae that lies in the thoracic region are thoracic vertebrae, and they are 12 in number, as you can see. Thoracic vertebrae. And the vertebrae that lies in the lower back are lumbar vertebrae. They are 5 in number, again, as you can see in the diagram. They are the lumbar vertebrae. Vertebrae that lie in the hip region is pelvic vertebrae. They are 9 in number and divide into 2 sets, that is sacrum and coccyx. Sacrum is 5 in number and these bones are fused, and coccyx is 4 in number and they are also fused. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is sacrum, and 1, 2, 3, 4. This is coccyx, and it is also sometimes referred as vestigial tail. Students, the rib cage is composed of 12 pairs of ribs. That is overall 24 ribs, 12 pairs. Ribs posteriorly, that is on the back, articulate with thoracic vertebrae. There are three types: true ribs, false ribs, and floating ribs. The first 7 pairs are true ribs as they are independently connected with the sternum through their separate costal arches, whereas 8th, 9th, and 10th pair are false ribs as they are connected with the sternum through single common costal arch. 11th and 12th pair are floating ribs as they are connected with only the thoracic vertebrae posteriorly but not attached with the sternum, that is the breastbone. The rib cage protects the heart and lungs. Now let's see what sternum is. Sternum or breastbone, as you can see in the diagram, the red region, is a long flat bone located in the center of the chest. So this was the axial skeleton. Let's discuss something about the appendicular skeleton. There are 126 bones in the appendicular skeleton, and it is composed of pectoral girdle and forelimbs, and the second part is pelvic girdle and hind limbs. Students, pectoral girdle consists of 4 bones. The bones which join forearm with spine is pectoral girdle. It comprises of scapula and clavicle. The clavicle connects scapula with sternum. Clavicle is also known as beauty bone. And the bones of forearms, there are 60 bones. First, let's see, this is clavicle, the beauty bone, and this bone is the scapula. You can see this is scapula. This is clavicle and this is scapula. And the bones of forearms are humerus. This is humerus. The upper portion of the arm, the bone here, this is the humerus, and this forms ball and socket joint with the scapula. The next is radius and ulna. This is radius and this is ulna, and they form hinge joint with the humerus. Then comes carpals, 8 carpals. You can see these are the 8 carpals. This is the wrist region, and there are 8 bones which are known as carpals. Then comes metacarpals, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are metacarpals and they make the palm region. And then comes the phalanges, which makes the fingers. 3 each in each finger, you can see here, that makes 12, and 2 in the thumb, that makes 14. So in each arm, humerus, radius, ulna, carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges are present. 8 carpals make the wrist, metacarpals make the palm, and phalanges make the fingers. Now comes the pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle is the union of 2 coxal bones. Each coxal bone is formed by the fusion of ilium, ischium, and pubis. Repeat after me: ilium, ischium, and pubis. These are also known as hip bones. Diagrammatically, this is ilium, this is ischium, and this is pubis. So these are the hip bones. Now the bones of the hind limbs, that is leg, you can see in each leg there is a femur, tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, phalanges, and kneecap, which is also known as patella. This is patella. This is the kneecap. It's a very important bone, kneecap. Students, femur is the proximal bone which forms a hip joint with the hip bone. It is a ball and socket joint. This is femur. See, and this forms a ball and socket joint. So this is femur. At the distal end, the femur knee joint with the proximal end of the 2 parallel bones called tibia and fibula. This is tibia and this is fibula. The distal end of the tibia and fibula forms a joint with 7 tarsals which are also distally attached to 5 metatarsal bones of ankle, and 5 rows of 14 phalanges of the toes are attached to the metatarsals. As you can see, these are the tarsals, the 7 bones, and these are the metatarsals, and these are the phalanges, the toe bones. So this is the diagram of bones of the hind limbs. I hope this video was helpful. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Wishing you all the best.